The following is an important announcement from After Hours Cinema.
Hey guys, this is Lee Turner with After Hours Cinema. Just wanted to let you guys know out there we've got some great special features headed your way, and we got a lot of jam-packed episodes in the coming weeks. Speaking of special features, we're also going to have a co-hostess that's going to be helping me out, and I'd like to introduce you to her right now. Where is she?
Oh, hey guys, this is Mistress Sophia. Just thought I'd, pop in, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of me on episodes of After Hours Cinema. So now, let's get back to this guy.
Whew. Guys, I don't know what happened, but speaking of special treats, tonight we have a very new revamped episode of the Blancheville Monster. This Italian Gothic classic is sure to give some genuine scares and evoke that old dark castle vibe that all of our fans at After Hours Cinema love. So, without further ado, here's the Blancheville Monster Redux on After Hours Cinema.
And when they're on, I want you again to just point where you see the rod.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of After Hours Cinema. I'm your host, Lee Turner, and tonight we're venturing back into the realm of European Gothic films with 1963's The Blancheville Monster. This movie is one of those hidden gems of the genre, with its stark and haunting black and white photography, complete with a foreboding castle, catacombs, and plenty of candles. For kids of the 80s, it kind of has a Castlevania vibe about it, especially due to its extensive use of candelabras. But I digress. The movie is loosely based on the Edgar Allan Poe stories, The Fall of the House of Usher, and Some Words from a Mummy. But many tend to think it's simply a faux Roger Corman Poe film like The Telltale Heart and The Pendulum in disguise. But I tend to kind of disagree with that opinion because the film's eerie atmosphere is top-notch and it's pretty suspenseful even by today's standards. Another thing about the film that I like is that despite it being obviously dubbed into English, it's pretty well done, unlike other films of the era. Of course, no one's ever going to rank The Blancheville Monster alongside Mario Bava's Black Sunday. It's still a respectful entry into the Gothic horror canon. Speaking of Black Sunday, be sure to check out that film's trailer during tonight's final break, along with another great intermission trailer and a featured cosplayer. Now, before we dive off into the movie, a little bit about the plot. It follows a beautiful young daughter of a crazed count who fears that she will fall victim to the family's sacrificial curse. So here is 1963's The Blancheville Monster.
Use this leader to focus the picture and adjust the sound volume. The film will then be ready for correct projection.
Everyone knows home video is one of the great advances of this age.
I'm home at last. My exile is ended. As exiles go, I'd say yours was rather pleasant, don't you think so? And besides, if your brother hadn't forced you to stay in college, who would have helped me with my French lessons? As soon as I see Roderic, I'm going to give him a big kiss of gratitude.
You talk to the Count as if you were an old friend.
Of course he's an old friend. Emily and I read Roderic's letters together. He's a fascinating man. I'm almost in love with him.
Emily, did my sister have you read the letters I wrote her?
But of course. And we also read between the lines, didn't we?
Welcome back, mademoiselle.
But who are you?
I'm Alistair, the new butler.
And where's Joseph?
I wouldn't know, mademoiselle. This way, please.
I hope your brother isn't put out by our unexpected arrival.
Nonsense. He'll love you.
Well, I hope so. Because the weather doesn't seem to be of the same opinion. Thank you. What is it?
When I left the castle, my father was still alive.
But weren't you here when your father...
No. It was her brother who told her. Roderic!
My dear.
Oh, Roderic. Oh, I've missed you so much.
I missed you too, Emily. When you left, you were only a child, and now...
I'm a woman. I'm 21 now. And I don't have to answer to anyone for my actions. But I'll always be grateful to you, Roderic.
There's still a week to your birthday. And until then, your life belongs to me.
Oh, excuse me. My brother Roderic, me lord, Alice and John Taylor.
How do you do, sir?
Alice was my closest friend in college.
Oh, I know. You were mentioned in every letter.
My brother arrived in London to take me back home to New York, and...
Instead, Emily convinced us both to come to Brittany.
She insisted so much that I wanted Alice to help me blow out the candles on my birthday cake. Oh, that reminds me, I must tell Dorothea...
Dorothea is no longer with us. She was very old.
She's gone, too.
But we have other servants, my dear. Alistair! Dinner will be served soon. Perhaps our guests would like to freshen up a bit.
My lord?
Accompany Miss and Mr. Taylor to their rooms.
We'll see you later.
Oh, Roderic, forgive me. Forgive me, but to return home like this after our poor father.
There's nothing to forgive, Emily. I understand, my dear.
Who is she?
Welcome back, mademoiselle.
Thank you.
Miss Eleanor.
Our new housekeeper.
Everyone seems to be new here, Roderic.
Miss Eleanor deserves our thanks for the way she manages the house.
Thank you, my lord. I also hope to gain Miss Emily's trust and confidence very soon.
Go now and make yourself beautiful. And remember, you are now the lady of the castle. Accompany my sister to her rooms. Appreciate America very much. But being so young a country, it has a lot to learn.
We can always enroll the whole nation in an English college.
Oh, no, I've just come out of one. Did you hear that?
You needn't fear, Miss Alice. It's just the storm drawing to a close.
No, not the thunder. The scream.
It seemed like a scream to me, too.
Emily, perhaps you're mistaken. It was more like the sound of a dog howling.
That was probably it. Just a dog.
Of course, our peasants have many of them. By tomorrow, you'll be accustomed to the countryside that surrounds this old castle.
I'm being silly.
I'm afraid your sister is very excitable, Mr. Taylor.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
The Count has been expecting you.
You must all be tired from your long journey. It's quite late, and you'd best get some rest.
I'm not at all tired.
In college, you were already in bed at this hour.
Good evening.
I'm terribly sorry I couldn't make it in time.
But your patience prevented you. It seems that for a doctor, a watch is useful only for taking pulses. If you think you're staring at my sister, you're mistaken.
I didn't realize I was staring. I immediately recognized you from the description your brother gave me. I'm honored, mademoiselle.
Dr. LaRouche. In only a few months, he has gained all my esteem and trust. Alice and John Taylor.
And Dr. Burchell?
The old doctor had taken care of 3 generations of de Blancheville, but was too old for the 4th. Shall we go? I wouldn't forgive myself if the beauty of our lovely Miss Alice were to suffer for lack of rest.
You're making me blush.
My name is Roderic. I'll accompany you to your rooms. Wait for me here. I must beat you at chess.
Miss Eleanor.
Yes?
Thank you, sir. You're very kind.
I'd appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, keeping me company. Well, then?
Nothing.
I'm not sure I like the way you've been behaving. And now his sister's here with those other 2.
You entered into this, and you'll have to find a way out. If you can.
Joe!
I'm warning you, should he come in now and see you like this, it will all be over for the 2 of us. Where is it?
Do you need something?
No. That is, up in the tower, I saw... Oh, my God.
Will you tell me what you're talking about?
I tell you, there was a man. I saw him. He was a monster. And his hands were all covered with blood. He was shouting. I tell you, I
There's
saw...
no one in the tower. Are you sure that it wasn't just your imagination?
No. It couldn't have been. I tell you, I really saw him. And he was together with your housekeeper, Miss Eleanor.
Eleanor. We can go up together. Are you afraid?
No. I'll go.
This is actress Madison Ekstrand, and you're watching After Hours Cinema.
Have you been denied your Social Security disability benefit and are seeking an attorney to help with your claim? Before rushing out to hire someone, you should ask, will my case be handled by an attorney or a non-attorney representative? Does your attorney live in South Mississippi where you live? And will your attorney meet with you before the day of your case? Better yet, just contact the Turner Law Group or visit them online and let them put their experience to work for you throughout all of South Mississippi and Alabama.
Hey, and welcome back to our first break of tonight's movie, The Blancheville Monster. See what I mean about the atmosphere? Everything is so dark and foreboding. Even the forest looks haunted on the carriage ride into the castle. Of course, one look at that castle and I would be making a U-turn. I don't know about you guys. Fans of the show might recognize Miss Eleanor, the housekeeper in tonight's movie, portrayed by the gorgeous Helga Lean, as she has appeared in a host of films here on After Hours Cinema like Nightmare Castle, as well as the beautiful Natasha in Horror Express. In fact, she appeared in over 130 films and is a former circus acrobat of German, Spanish, and Portuguese descent, turning to the mysterious Count Roderic de Blancheville. The character was portrayed by actor Gerard Tichy, who is probably best known for appearing in the classic Dr. Zhivago and the biblical epic King of Kings. Now, before we get back to the movie, I read an interesting production note that revealed it was so cold during the filming that you could actually see the actor's breath on screen. See if you can spot that, because I did a couple times. Well, let's get back to the Blancheville Monster.
And now, on with the show.
Are you convinced now, Alice?
And yet, I'm sure it was in this room.
It's just an abandoned room in an old tower. Exactly as one would imagine in a dream. Go to your room now and get some rest.
Please forgive me. But it all seems so real, so terrible. The hour. It was midnight.
It's now midnight. Come on. Hurry! Let's run. Come on.
There was a terrible fire, and the old abbey was completely destroyed.
And Emily's father died.
Yes.
How strange. Was he anything at all like Roderic?
I wouldn't know.
One is surrounded by sadness in these ruins.
On the other hand, your brother seems to be enjoying his vacation here.
And why not? He's in love with Emily.
It's only natural. Emily's very lovely. But she's a De Blancheville.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's that she belongs to one of the noblest families in Brittany. And I don't think your brother realizes what he would be up against.
You mean that a De Blancheville cannot fall in love with the John Taylor?
Oh, of course, there's no law to prevent Emily. But there are certain prejudices that exist in these families. And if one is not kin to them, it's advisable to stay away.
You're implying that my brother and I should leave the castle?
No, I didn't mean it that way. Your presence is refreshing. But Count de Blancheville.
Even Roderic seems to welcome our presence here, and it's not just a matter of good manners. And I was told as much last night.
Are you sure?
Yes, quite sure. Oh, John.
I love you, Emily. You know, after that long walk, I'm starving.
Oh, here in the castle, John, it is said that one is not allowed to be actually starving. At most, we will admit to being of good appetite.
Really? Well, I'll admit to it, then you can double it. Doctor, it's urgent.
Excuse me.
If you wish, tea will be served very shortly in your rooms.
I've decided to tell them and stop this pretending.
Why did you have your sister come back? You could have avoided...
I couldn't prevent her. It's her home. If anything happens to her, you'll be responsible.
Me? You seem to forget I limited myself to giving professional advice. And nothing else. Instead, you wouldn't allow me to...
Are you accusing me? Because I wanted to spare his life?
I only hope that your show of pity will not compromise us both. We must go now. Your guests are waiting for us.
Alice, I need your help. Help? I think you know your brother John and I. We
Continue.
You see, well, John and I...
You're a pair of doves.
That's obvious.
I didn't think you were trying to hide it.
You mean even Roderic is aware of it then?
He has eyes.
Miss Alice.
Roderic, what's wrong?
I don't know what you'll think of me, but I hope you will forgive me for having purposely deceived you last night. Emily, you must prepare yourself for something unpleasant.
What is it?
When I wrote you that our father perished when the old abbey burned down, I lied.
You lied?
Yes. He's alive.
He's not dead? Oh, Roderic. But why did you let me believe he was dead?
Because he's so horribly disfigured. You must realize, I had to uphold the good name of De Blancheville. I had to.
Your father. I actually saw him then.
Yes. Try to understand me. Perhaps I shouldn't have done it. Until last night, I was still hoping to be able to hide the truth. But now...
You knew it?
No, nothing. I was sleeping when all of a sudden I heard a scream. I looked everywhere for John's room, and without realizing it, I found myself in that cell. That woman was there. She wanted to give him an injection. I saw her. She was there torturing him.
Nonsense. He wanted to escape.
It's true. In fact, he's escaped.
And if you hadn't interfered, it wouldn't have happened. I was injecting a sedative prescribed by the doctor.
He's right.
He fled into the forests. Etienne and his men are already searching for him. Let's hope they find him. He's very dangerous.
But he's so old. Besides, he's my father. I'm going into the woods to look for him. He'd never harm me.
I'll come with you. Come back here. What you don't realize is that it's you he wants to kill.
But he's my own father.
Emily, sit down. Your brother has something more to explain. Speak up before it's too late.
Carved on the headstone of our family tomb, there is an old prophecy that only a warped and distorted mind could believe in. It says that the house of De Blancheville will end with this generation if a female descendant reaches the age of 21.
Exactly. 21? Your birthday is on the 23rd of October.
Which means in exactly 5 days.
The sign of the scorpion on the clock.
Precisely. And my father would do anything to carry out this prophecy. And that's why he wants to kill you, Emily. But don't worry. As I have always done, I'll watch over you every moment. Did you find him?
No. And I searched the forest for miles around.
You attend. Tell me, were there any traces?
No, my lord. We looked everywhere, but with so few men, it would take weeks to cover the whole territory.
I see.
But we'll organize a bigger search party. Don't worry, my lord. We'll find him.
Let's go.
Come on.
Emily, listen to me. I'm entering your sleep. You must obey me. Abandon your will, Emily. Your destiny is now in my hands. You will follow me, Emily, to your tomb, to your death, to die, to die. To die. To die. To die. Your tomb, Emily. Your tomb. Enter. Do not resist, Emily. Abandon yourself to eternal rest.
all torment will end with the sweetness of death.
What are you doing here? That's what I'd like to ask you.
I saw her when she left the castle.
In fact. Before the others find out, let's take her back to her room.
Have the ladies come down yet?
They're in the dining room. Any news? Everything under control, Doctor.
You're not drinking your tea?
Oh, John, did you find him?
No, not yet. But where's Emily?
She was always the last one to get up in college. She's probably still sleeping.
But yesterday she was already up by this time.
Oh. Don't be so impatient. And now sit down and eat your breakfast. We'll be right down, dear. Emily, aren't you coming down? John has been asking for you. Emily. Emily. What is it, Emily? Are you all right? You don't feel well?
No, I don't know.
Didn't you sleep last night?
Yes, very deeply.
Did you have a bad dream?
I don't know. There's something I don't recall. Last night,
Emily, for the love of God, tell me, go on. Last night you were saying that last night. What did you do last night?
Last night? I don't know. I don't know.
Emily. Your nightgown. Your slippers are all covered with mud. You went out last night.
No, Alice. No.
But it rained last night and you went out. Look, your slippers are all dirty.
No, it's not possible. I never went out of my room. I'm sure of it.
But think, perhaps that's what you're trying to remember.
I don't want to remember anything. I mustn't remember anything. Go away! Oh, forgive me. Forgive me. But I feel so strange. I'll be all right in a moment. I'll join you in a few minutes.
Hi, this is actress Ali Pettis reminding you, don't ask who's there. Just ignore them. Keep watching After Hours Cinema.
Check out these shows available now on FearFlix.
And welcome to another collection of frightfully good films from FearFlix, Gothic Horrors, with me, your host, Malvolia, the Queen of Screams.
Hey, I'm Pamela Such. You know me from all the Wave movies. And here we are, we're going to play Curse of the Swamp Creature 2.
Hello guys, I'm Rachel Waits.
And I'm Elise Costin.
Welcome to Silent Screams.
I'm Pamela Such.
I'm Monica Hayes. Thank you for tuning in to 70s Grind Out on FearFlix.
Hey y'all, I'm Sherry Davis, your host for this wild and untamed collection of horror films from FearFlix. We wrangled up a selection of Texas horrors for this one. Welcome to Lone Star Horrors.
These shows, movies, and much more available now on FearFlix. Download it on your Roku channel store today.
Have you been denied your Social Security disability benefit and are seeking an attorney to help with your claim? Before rushing out to hire someone, you should ask, will my case be handled by an attorney or a non-attorney representative? Does your attorney live in South Mississippi where you live? And will your attorney meet with you before the day of your case? Better yet, just contact the Turner Law Group or visit them online and let them put their experience to work for you throughout all of South Mississippi and Alabama.
Sparkle here, and it's intermission time.
Good evening. It's intermission time. Our service is friendly and quick. You'll find hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza, your favorite candies, hot and cold beverages, and other delicious snacks. So add to your fun of watching the movie. Visit our refreshment stand right now. We're glad to have you with us tonight, and we hope you'll come to see us often. It's great to get out to the movies.
Lower taxes.
Higher taxes.
Record employment.
Unemployment.
Peace. War.
Highest wages.
Lower pay. States' rights. Centralization of government.
Whoa, stop! I've tried. I've listened to everybody. On TV and radio. I've read the papers and magazines. I've tried, but I'm still confused. Who's right? What's right? What should I believe? What are the facts? How can I tell?
Well, my friend, if it's any consolation, you're not alone. Many voters are in the same boat right this minute. Words have been flying at you hot and heavy. You've heard the pros and cons, the cons and pros of both sides. You've listened to people you believe in and people you've never heard of. It's not surprising that you're confused. But beyond all the words, beyond all the claims and promises, there's actually just one big thing on which most people base their final decision. The man. Take this man. Statesman, American. He's captured the admiration, the trust, the devotion of Americans in all walks of life. He's won the acclaim of people of other nations and made us prouder to be Americans. Who will you vote for? What's your decision? What do you say?
Hey, this is Sparkle Sujin. Check out this great trailer. I want that new subject brought in. Alive!
He was definitely infected by the female alpha.
He's the first and only one that we know of. Without him, we can't.
But you're gonna eat my brain anyway, right?
That will be a no.
And now, preview time. When it comes to entertainment, you can't beat a good film. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You will freeze as you watch a warped scientist become transformed into a godless beast when his bloody scalpel probes the forbidden secrets of a woman's flesh. In Atom Age Vampire, you will flame to the stark ritual of a beautiful girl's last searing dance, as tragedy forever mars her loveliness, leaving her to face a world of terror.
I give you my word that I will restore your face, restore all your beauty.
You will cringe as the demented doctor experiments with a girl's trusting innocence. But to possess the living miracle wrought by his twisted genius, he must forever sacrifice his soul to the cunning gods of evil.
I'll transplant directly from another human being.
A mad creature born of the atomic age, now shackled to a world of rotting bodies and violent death. A sadist, a criminal, a depraved animal, more ferocious than Jekyll, more monstrous than Frankenstein, more bloody than Dracula.
Fire a volley through the window pane.
You will gasp as lust and madness stalk the dark and screaming night in Atom Age Vampire.
Now it's time for the After Hours Cinema Featured Cosplayer of the Week. This week's featured cosplayer is Rachel Waits. Find Rachel on Instagram at rachel.makesart.
Hi, my name is Al, the VCR. I'm here at the VCR Emergency Center waiting for the doc for a major overhaul because my owner hasn't been keeping me clean. You see, like most of the big shots, my owner enjoys the fact that I'm a high-performance piece of equipment, but ignores the fact that I got my sensitive side, too. Tell him about it, Doc.
Al has a series of electromagnets, tape heads for audio, video, and synchronization. And when they get dirty, you can either lose the picture, lose the audio, or the audio and video might work out of sync, like a bad monster movie.
That's right. And you know, my heads can get dirty from outside elements like dust and smoke, or from oxide shed from the video cassette. And if I don't get a routine cleaning, I can't properly read the information on the tape, and things start to get fuzzy. So, if you want to keep your VCR from getting into the jam I'm in, it's simple. All you gotta do is get yourself a head cleaner. The dry system for routine maintenance and a wet system for more heavy-duty cleanup jobs. Then read the directions, and after every 15-20 hours of playtime, slip in the cassette, and bingo, clean heads.
The regular usage of head cleaners not only preserves the performance of your VCR, but it preserves the longevity of your VCR as well.
Take it from someone who knows. Save yourself the heartache. Give your VCR routine maintenance with head cleaners and keep it out of trouble.
And now, on with the show.
Well, what's your decision? He or I? You must decide.
Had I wanted, by now you would have been betrayed.
How is she? It's nothing serious. She's resting now. Well, I hope you're right. I don't think you realize what Emily means to me. I can imagine. And for this reason, I assure you that it's not the case to worry. Two or 3 days of rest, and she'll be carefree and fit as she was before. Is that everything? You have my word. Well, what was it then?
Perhaps she is still overwrought. Or she has fallen in love.
Yes, that could be it. The American? Nonsense. Within a few days after Emily's birthday, he will have gone away. You can be sure of that.
Does Miss Alice stay?
And why should she remain?
Actually, many doctors are interested in the study of hypnotism.
Of course, but if you consider Emily's condition, it's a strange coincidence.
You might have told me sooner.
I only found out about it this morning. And then, how could I have told you if you were out all day leaving me alone with Roderic?
You like Roderic, don't you?
Yes, very much.
If you want my opinion, I don't like him. Nor this miserable castle. As far as I'm concerned, they can have it. They've gone to bed.
It's time you go and get some rest. It's midnight. You'll see, Emily will soon be better if we both watch over her.
In this gloomy atmosphere, Emily's buoyant, young, and jovial. But in this manner, how can you help feeling anything but moody? The servants in this place, the walls, everything here seems morose and deathlike.
John, please.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm very worried for Emily. I've got to convince her to come away with me. Good night, Alice.
John, you'll see. Everything will be all right.
Emily.
Emily! No! I don't want to die! Leave me! No!
Emily!
No! Go away! It's so horrible! No! It's all right. I don't want to
What
die.
happened? What are you doing here? I was about to go to my room when she appeared as if in a trance. But as soon as I tried to shake her out of it, she screamed as if awakening from a nightmare.
Oh, leave me. Don't touch me.
Leave her alone. Have someone call the doctor. I want to get to the bottom of this. No. Emily doesn't need any doctors. And much less one like LaRouche. What have you against Dr. LaRouche?
John.
Nothing definite. But I'll soon know enough to make a formal accusation.
If you have any accusations to make, please do so immediately. Dr. LaRouche is a gentleman, and I have never had any reason to doubt my faith in him.
Milord, I am a doctor, I don't see any reason why my interest in magnetism or hypnotism should need any justification. I'm sure that you will admit that Mesmer's book may have aroused a certain curiosity, fantasy in Miss Alice. My lord, believe me. The art of hypnotism is now recognized by many doctors and may one day be a part of medical study, despite the barriers of an ignorant society.
I truly hope you haven't been using my sister Emilie as a guinea pig for your experiments. Because if you have been, you're
wrong. I have no practice whatsoever in hypnotic procedure. But there is no doubt that the girl's state of prostration is a condition that resembles most accurately what is referred to as a hypnotic coma.
A hypnotic coma? And what does that mean?
It's difficult to talk when you're under accusation. However, I can tell you what is now afflicting Emilie is no passing illness. I assure you it's something much more undefinable, affecting not only her body, but threatening inexorably to kill her spirit.
This is all very vague.
Exactly. What you have yet to explain to us, Doctor, is Emilie's helplessness and her transformation. In only a few hours, she's become a useless creature. Deprived of any will to live.
That's exactly it. Deprived of her own faculties. Emilie seems to be the victim of a slow and ever-progressive case of poisoning.
Of poisoning?
Yes. It's not her body that is threatened. It's her spirit.
Then what would you say was the best cure for her?
I wouldn't leave her alone. And that's the reason I insisted she stay outdoors as much as possible. I know of no other cure that could help her.
You're of the same opinion, Mr. Taylor?
Yes, of course. But
she's coming down now.
I think that I've been acquitted. Oh, don't go. I could have easily satisfied your curiosity personally if you'd asked me information about my book.
But
it's all been cleared up, Alice. There's only one really effective cure for Emilie. And that is to free her from the nightmare of her insane father.
Quiet, she's coming.
How are you, dear?
Much better.
Would you like to walk outside in the garden for a while?
Yes.
Don't go too far.
Aren't you coming?
No, I'm afraid I've neglected my business these days, and I must take advantage of this moment.
With your permission, I'll accompany you.
If it pleases you.
Very much.
Over there!
Emilie! Emilie!
There! In the tower! I'd swear I saw someone move.
It must be the old Count. It couldn't be my father. That's absurd. If there is anyone, Roderic managed to find him.
I doubt it. I'd say it was an accident. Probably a loose block.
But it wouldn't fall down unless there was something that... or someone who...
The castle is very old.
Still, it seemed to me there was a shadow moving about.
Where's Alistair? John? I sent him to make a purchase. Do you need anything? No, thank you.
Nothing. There's no one. I went all the way to the top, but I couldn't find a trace.
I thought so. You're out of danger now. Isn't that so, my lord?
There's no danger. Would you like to continue your walk, or go back indoors?
No. I feel safe being near John.
As you wish. Miss Eleanor, would you come with me a moment, please? We will have to repair this.
As soon as you're well again, you'll come with us to America.
It would be wonderful.
I can promise you that.
Roderic would never consent to my leaving.
Tomorrow is your birthday. And there won't be any need for his consent. And if you are in love with me.
Oh, John. Do you doubt it?
I'm sure that if we could have met under different circumstances, you would now have another opinion of me.
But why do you think so?
Because you're a woman who's very easily influenced by outward appearances.
You mean that I'm superficial?
The opposite. If you have a fault, I'd say it's something to the contrary. A hypersensitivity. Obviously, Count Roderic has made quite an impression, hasn't he?
I didn't know I had to reveal my impressions. I maintain, however, that Roderic is a gentleman as there are very few.
Of course. I know that you don't include me in those few. And yet I would do anything to have you change your opinion.
I didn't say that you...
Please don't. You don't have to explain. It's quite clear. You're in love with him and I with you. While on the other hand, he loves another.
Another?
Oh, no. It was just... Please don't misunderstand me. There exists no one else.
I carried out your orders, Miss Eleanor.
Open! Open, hurry! She's only fainted. Carry her up to her room.
Alistair?
Did you want something, Miss Alice?
When did you come back?
Come back, Miss Alice.
Didn't you go into town on some errands?
Ah, yes. I went to purchase some medicines for Miss Eleanor.
For Miss Eleanor?
For Mademoiselle Emilie, I was sent by Miss Eleanor. Perhaps a doctor can tell you, Miss Alice, if it was he who prescribed the medicines.
I? Oh, yes, it's possible.
Dr. LaRouche, I'm sure, better than anyone else, could inform you on all matters concerning this castle. Do you wish anything else, Miss Alice?
Very weak. I can barely feel her pulse.
Emilie. Emilie, dearest. It's me, Roderic.
Emilie, She shouldn't have gone out.
You forget she was frightened. She needs rest.
Alice, could you stay with her until she's fallen asleep?
Emily. My dear. What is it? Tell me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
No. It's not the walk that made her worse. The cause must lie somewhere else.
She's terrorized. Emily lives in the fear that someone is going to kill her. If they haven't found the old Countess yet, I'll find him. I'll find him even if it takes the rest of my life. Emily. Emily!
John! John! John!
Emily!
Your medicine.
Hi, I'm attorney Lee Turner. I hope you're enjoying tonight's film. If you are a loved one or thinking about applying for Social Security disability, there's a few questions you need to ask before you rush off and hire an attorney. One, will your case be handled by an attorney located in South Mississippi where you live? And two, will an attorney or a representative be handling your case? And three, and most importantly, will an attorney meet with you before the day of the hearing? Better yet, just give me a call at the Turner Law Group at 601-394-5008 or visit us online at www.msdisabilitylawyer.com. Hey, and welcome back to our final break of tonight's film, The Blancheville Monster. As promised in tonight's intro, we have a special treat for you tonight as we're going to feature the trailer to the influential Gothic masterpiece, Black Sunday, directed by Mario Bava and starring the horror icon Barbara Steele. The film is widely regarded as one of the finest horror films ever made. So here's the trailer to Black Sunday.
Not since Dracula stalked the earth has the world known so terrifying a day or night?
It is I who renounce you, and in the name of Satan, I place a curse upon you.
Black Sunday is like no motion picture you've ever seen. There are those who believe and those who do not. But both must know the suspense, the shock of meeting the living dead and of bringing the dead to life.
Look into my eyes. Embrace me. You will die, but I can bring you pleasures mortals cannot know.
Black Sunday, the most terrifying motion picture you'll ever see. Satan, wearing strange robes and fighting with all the furies of Hades, arouses the countryside to a frenzy of black terror.
Well, hope you enjoyed that sneak peek at Black Sunday, and let's get back to the finale of the Blancheville Monster.
Drink it. Drink it, I said. No! What do you mean that, Gladys? Let go. Let go, I said. Have you gone mad? No.
What's going on?
Emilie screamed. She was poisoning her.
What are you talking about?
What's in that glass? Why don't you answer?
If you can't trust me, then why don't you give it to her? 10 drops.
Drink it, Emily.
Emily. Emily! Emily, it's me! Emily! Emily, don't you hear me?
Why are you crying?
Nothing, miss. It's just when I think that Emily's 21 today. I saw her born, you know.
Yes, of course.
And this is her favorite cake.
Yes, that's why Count Roderic asked you to come here, Dorte.
Thank you. The Lord. The Lord.
What is it?
It's the American. He's been badly wounded.
The Lord our God is merciful and just. Lendeth our dear departed, O Lord, thy perpetual light. The righteous shall be remembered in eternity, and shall not come to suffer infamy. The Lord hath done good things. Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, concede unto thy servants the remission of
I'm
sin.
not dead. I'm not dead, Roderic. Why can't I open my eyes? Why can't they hear me? I must move my hands. My hands, they'll see. They'll know I'm not dead. If only I could speak. If only I could shout. I'm alive! I'm alive!
Our hearts to weep. Forever. Amen.
Where did they take me? Roderic, don't leave me here. Don't leave me alone. Where am I? I don't want to stay here, Roderic. Save me, Roderic. I'm alive. I'm alive. There's someone near me. Take me away. Take me away. I'm alive. Don't you hear me? I'm alive. I'm alive. I don't want to stay here. You can't leave me here. Take me away. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I'm alive. I'm alive. Oh, don't abandon me. I beg of you. Please. Please don't leave me. I beg of you. I'm afraid. Don't leave me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Wait, Alice. You have no reason to suspect me, believe me. Because I also want to take revenge for Emily's death.
What?
Yes. I'm certain that she was killed. The same person also attempted to murder your brother. John knew that Emily had left the castle last night.
But Emilie died in her room. In her bed.
Emilie was led to this abbey almost every night.
Every night? But then... You mean you knew it and didn't say anything?
And yet, by not saying anything, I was hoping to make the murderer fall into my hands. Emilie should never have returned to the castle. For a curse has befallen the house of the Blancheville. And the first victim of this mystery was Dr. Burchell, my predecessor. And close friend. It was he who looked after the old count who was horribly burned when the abbey caught fire. Before dying, he said, I will never leave this castle alive.
And he was killed?
I'm sure of it. Burchell was killed because he knew the old count wasn't insane. And he never agreed with Rodrigue's supposition.
Then you think that...
When the doctor died, I took over. And you arrived with Emilie. I had to act quickly. But I was allowed to see the old lord only on rare occasions. Never alone. But I convinced Roderic to engage the help of a nurse, a woman in whom I had absolute faith.
Miss Eleanor.
Yes. But unfortunately, she too is under his hypnotic spell.
I will never believe that. There. A hand.
Wait here. De Blancheville. God have mercy. Murdered. He's been there 2 or 3 days.
Well then, Emilie and John...
I know, Alice. You wait here. I must return to the castle. Now, wait here. What are you waiting for? He knows, and he will die.
No. You know there's no reason why he should die. Believe me, it isn't necessary that he be killed. He doesn't know you.
He knows, and he will die. He saw Alistair, and he knows, I tell you. And now he'll die. The knife!
No! You will not kill again. Get back! Get back, I tell you!
You'll die too.
It's you. But then...
Yes, it's me. But you won't live to tell anyone. Because you'll die, like Emilie.
Emily's dead. And you, her own brother, killed her.
I had to. The prophecy. The family prophecy. I didn't want to do it. But after all, what is the death of a useless creature compared to the life, the future of the De Blancheville?
You're mad! You're out of your mind! Even if you do kill me, you'll never escape punishment!
Roderic! The deception is over. And now get back. There's no one to save you. You can no longer accuse your father of the crimes that you've committed. You're a murderer!
Emilie! No, it can't possibly be!
Come back, Roderic!
But you're dead!
No, Roderic! It was you! I know!
Go away!
Wait! Wait!
Go away!
And when is the wedding?
I'll let Emilie decide. What do you think would happen if I asked them the same thing?
He was about to ask me, but he forgot. I'm still waiting.
Well, if that's a proposal, the answer is yes.
Well, that's a wrap on 1963's The Blancheville Monster, a notable entry into the Gothic horror canon. I don't know about you, but the film's story, imagery, and eerie atmosphere makes it a standout amongst public domain horror films, in my opinion at least. The film's legacy has been further cemented since falling into the public domain due to its extensive screening by countless horror hosts like Lamia on Horror Hotel and Mistress Scarlet on Frightmare Theater, along with some showings on Creature Features. So despite a few flaws and shortcomings, the film still earns the After Hours Cinema seal of approval. Be sure to tune in next week for another great low-budget movie. Until then, I'm your host, Lee Turner, and let's keep those B-movies rolling, guys.